See one more topic today, but that's like I'll tell you one thing. I'll give a draft model like what I'm trying to explain. So I'll be placing a new component like this. Okay. In this component, I'll create a button, calculate, and calculate is a button. Okay. Don't forget like this is also related to the same component. And I'll place one more component inside here with two inputs. Number one plus number two equal to what's the value? 1 is 2 equal to 3. So if I say 1, 2, if I do a calculate in the parent component, my child component action should execute. What is action? That JavaScript method. You understood? Here I have a child component. This is my child component. Inside child components, I have two input boxes, two inputs. One is 1 and second one is 2. If I do a calculate, these calculations should execute from the child. How can you control? Like on click of this button, what should you do so that your child methods will execute? Child JavaScript methods. You understood, right? When I say JavaScript function, that controller functions, right? So controller function in the sense you have in the JavaScript, like here. If I have a child method, then the child method need to be invoked. Clear? For that, let me create one component quickly. Control Shift P, sfdx, create Aura component, and I'll say so my component I'm saying arithmetic operations, and we'll be needing a interface available for all pages. Say div. Okay, if this is not visible, let me zoom in. Is it visible now? Okay, SLDS cart, and inside this we decided to have a button. So let's say center lightning colon button label equal to calculate. For now, this much. Control A, format document. Okay, perfect. So if I deploy this, perfect. This got deployed. Let's go back and open our Aura components. Aura components is a tab that we created custom. Edit the page. Edit page. We have arithmetic operations. Drag and drop it. So now we are here. Save. Back. And we can do most better way by using some standard base components called lightning cards, lightning tiles. We'll see the base components if anything is available for us to make little more beautiful. Here we have lightning colon card. We have a lightning colon card which have a title, which have a footer and your action button. So I'm taking my card from here. I'll go down and I'll add it here. Instead of new, I'll node set my actions. I'll remove it. Actions, go here. And here footer is the one thing. Let me say lightning colon button label equal to calculate variant equal to brand. And okay, I need to customize even this footer, right? Let's customize the footer. Now I don't need to send card footer. I wanted to set this button inside footer. So what I can do, aura colon set attribute name equal to footer. This is your attribute name for this particular component. Attribute arithmetic operations, and I'll take off this. Yes. Display your child component. Deploy this to SOSA. Refresh. Now your arithmetic operations and you got your calculation, right? So first what we can do, let's create a child component first now. Let's create a child component saying that create Aura components arithmetic inputs. So my child component name is arithmetic inputs. Save. Let me deploy it quickly. And here I'll call C colon arithmetic control Z. Oh no. Arithmetic inputs. So this is how it will work. And I'll also define my Aura ID. Aura colon ID. What is Aura ID? Is a unique identifier of this component within the component, right? Child CMP ID. Child component ID is the name that I mentioned. Deploy it. Inside this, I'll say lightning colon input type equal to number label first number lightning colon input type equal to number label equal to second number. Lightning output Okay, reply. So I created two inputs and one output. That's the decision, right? No markup, lightning, out. What the hell is this? Output we don't have. Light, lightning input. Reply this to source arc. Let's go back, refresh. Okay. So now we got first number, we got second number, and if I entered 1, 2, then it should come a results, right? On click of calculate, isn't it? But now tell me, this first number and second number is there in which component? Child component, right? But where is your button? In which component you have button? It's a parent component. Now, how can you get your parent component action? I mean, child calculation from a parent component. Is there any way that you can think of till now, like whatever we discussed so far with those things? Yes, handler only, but how you can do it? Now, ideally, if I have a button directly here, I can call my controller, JavaScript controller, like imagine that if I have this button here directly, right? If I have this button here, then what you will be doing, you will be defining action and you will call your controller, isn't it? Let's define that action only. Action. Imagine that this action is in calculate child. So we can define one action saying that C colon calculate values. This is my action. So what we can do here, controller, this is your action. So what we can do here, because let's define like a aura colon IDs, aura colon IDs, F number, aura colon ID, S number, aura colon ID equal to aura colon ID equal to T number total. That's what I mentioned. Second number, first number. So here calculations. First you need to get the component values, right? Get first number. How to get your first number? Let F value equal to component dot find because we have ID here. So when you have ID, you need to use aura ID dot find method, and then you need to get a value of get of v dot value. I hope you remembered this. F number dot get of v dot value. You remember, or do you want me to explain it? Second number, okay. So whenever you have like aura attributes, you know how to get component dot get v dot aura attribute name directly, isn't it? For the values. But what if it is an input, but there is no value defined? So for those things, based on the Aura ID, we can also get the data. And you can get any parameter like type, label, whatever you wanted based on the ID. So we have ID first. So we need to ask a system whether I have, like say, I have S number. What I will be doing in this entire to imagine that this is 80,000 line of code. In this, someone says S number exists or not exists. What we'll do? We'll simply say we'll do a find, we'll search it, isn't it? So the same thing we are doing here. First, it is finding whether that component is there or not there. Once if it is there, then we are reading a value of v dot value. V dot value in the sense inputs will have always a value attribute. Whether you declare or not declare, that value will always be there. So we are reading that value now by saying v dot value. Why we are mentioning v? Because it is related to .cmp file. We decided, right? If anything is related to CMP file of values, then we need to mention v dot, isn't it? Same concept here. Yeah, it will be there in this way. Like this, it will be declared. It by system will understand this way. Blank. It's considered as a blank. For now, you will get a value here. And the same way, let second value equal to same thing, component. First, we need to find in your 80,000 line of code, you need to find whether this particular ID exists or not. Imagine this is a big lengthy code, and if you want to find, oh, Control F, oh, there is a matching. Yes, let's find. Matching is found. And then what I need? And then I need to know the what is the value. So I'll say get v dot value. Right? Now you understood why we need to use a find here. Now finally calculate. What to calculate now? Let t value equal to f value plus s value. And now here you are reading a values. Here you need to set a values. How to set? First you need to find the same concept. First you need to find component dot find. What you need to find? T number. And then here you are reading values, so we are using get. Here we need to set a value, we need to use a set. Set. What you need to set? V dot value. And what is the value? Comma your t value. Set. No. Here we need to do a null checks. If the field is blank, then you need to typecast it to 0. Yes, exactly. So if it is f value, we need to handle this. F value equal to undefined. It's a concept. Or f value equal to null. Or f value equal to then f value equal to 0. Got it? Format document with TypeScript. Yes. Same thing. You can ask me a question. I'll not do anything for the second method because I define my type itself is a number. I'm not defining it's a text, right? We'll see if I don't define my type equal to this one, whether this will gonna harm me or it will not gonna harm me. Action was not found on click, sorry, on click. Deploy this to source arc, refresh it, 1 plus 2, this is button which we are doing, calculate. You got 12, right? What happened here? What happening here? Appending. It is appending, right? So what could be the possible changes that you need to handle here? What's the possible changes? It's appending. So let's say W3 schools. We have a JavaScript that we can able to learn from W3 schools. W3 schools online and tutorials. You can select which language, learn JavaScript, and you can do, okay, string methods, number methods. Okay, we have a number methods. If this is a string, if this is a string, you can, okay, to string is the one. Exponential fixed precision value of converting variables. Okay, the number method. Number of 10. So you need to do a typecast. Currently, it is considering as a string a plus b equal to ab. That is how it is doing, right? So now you need to typecast it to number. You need to typecast. No, there should be another method. It should be integer dot value parseInt. So why parseInt is not there? Let me do one thing. Number is also fine, and we also have parseInt. There is a parseInt method like parseInt of string. The value is parsed. The argument is not a string, then it is converted to use the toString abstraction. Okay. ParseInt is the one way that you can convert your string to number, but we can also use a number method. Let's use a number method first. Number of, okay, yes, number of deploy. So we're typecasting your string to a number now. Refresh it. So you can use W3 schools for your coding for a JavaScript. That is more than enough. Two. Now you got three, right? So we need a typecasting. So we did a typecasting, right? Let's imagine if I don't have a second number here, if I calculate, then we got one, right? You don't want to do this explicitly handling when you define your type itself is a number. Clear? It will consider it as a integer only by default. And the value will always be null, so it's fine. As soon as if you pass number of null, this will be skip off and it will show the results and it will consider as a zero. Because it's a null, it consider as a zero. Clear? How big number it can calculate? I don't know. I'm not too sure whether this can be calculated. Oh, it's cal. It looks like so many zeros. I got it. Huh? It's just adding. Second number. Okay. It's a decimal we have. Hmm. Cool. No issues. I mean, okay, I just checked like whether it will gonna handle. No, don't forget. But our concept is not this one, not this button. The same functional we need to do from this button, right? So I'm deleting it. I really don't need. Then Salesforce is offering a concept called Aura methods. Salesforce is offering a concept called Aura methods. So how does it looks? Aura method name equal to do operation, and then we have action. Now we call this action within the Aura method, saying that c dot this one, and then access equal to public, and then access equal to public. Clear? So what I'm converted? I converted my button as a method now. So what we can do this, here I had a variant calculate child component, right? So let's define a controller even here, one controller, saying that call child method. Call child method. How can I do? Get your child method first. How to get your child method? Let child cmp equal to component dot find. Why we are using find here? Because we have id, right? As soon as we have id, we need to use a find method, okay? And then now based on the child component, in the child component which I need to call, aura method I need to call. Child component dot aura method semicolon enter deploy. That's it. Now I'll click on click equal to c dot call child method. So based on the Aura ID, we can able to access our Aura methods, but ensure that the access should be public. If it is not public, it will not be visible to call. Okay. One calculate. You got it? Simple, right? So let's do one more thing. Let's understand. Can I pass something else? Can I pass something else within the Aura methods? Yes, you can also do. Let's say Aura method. Inside you can pass your attributes. Like in Apex method, we have attributes, right? We can pass trigger.new, trigger.old and everything. The same way we can also do here a method parameters saying that aura attribute. It's here we'll be defining as attributes only. Name equal to mm, head title, type equal to string. This is one. The same way we can do how many you wanted, it's okay. Type equal to string. How can you pass these values, you know? It's very simple. How do you pass method parameters? You simply say my title. This is how you'll pass, right? For method parameters. In Apex class also the same way you pass your method parameters, right? Arguments. Confusion. I can open one controller for you. So if I want to call this get methods, you have to pass one string, right? Here also same thing. This is your method. Inside you have two attributes. And you are calling this method and then you need to pass your attributes. That's it. So now the child component is been called and we are passing parameters. How can I access these values? Accessing these values is very easy. Let's say let params equal to event dot get params, and these are, I'm saying these are arguments, right? Argument spelling right, yes. If params not equal to null and not equal to undefined. If I say simply params, if it is null or undefined, then only it will go inside. Then let ht equal to params dot, what is your parameter name? Head title. Let let ht. So this is how you need to read only the one statement arguments, and then you can say that params dot, that whatever the method attribute you have, right, you can directly call that one. This is for your knowledge, so I'm sharing quickly. And there is no, there is no need of parameters in our case, method parameters. But still, I wanted to show you. Anyway, we are with method. Calculate. You got my title, right? This my title is passing from parent, isn't it? My title. So you got the value. So you know how to pass a method parameters, and you know how to pass a method, calling statements, isn't it? Any questions on this? So now tell me how many ways that we can communicate Lightning components.